All right, here we go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Biz Talk for TikTok, brought to you by Project Z Talent. Are you a brand or content creator who is looking to build your business online, specifically with TikTok? Or are you looking to ways to leverage your audience? Sorry, let me repeat that. Are you looking for ways to leverage influencer marketing into your brand strategy as a creator? Or are you a creator looking to learn the best ways to monetize your channel and learn the best practices in working with brands? Then this episode is for you. TikTok in the world of marketing is still looked at as the wild west, where advertisers are looking to figure out what are the best methods of not only creating content for themselves, but also working with TikTok creators. Working with TikTok creators is really important because they've developed a strong fandom base and who have built audiences in all shapes and sizes and get the best returns on your investment. It is simpler than you may think, and it all stems from TikTok's slogan, "Don't make ads, make TikToks." So without further ado, I would like to introduce you our guest today in today's episode, Alex Stempelski. Sorry. Oh my gosh, Alex. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
S-
Dempsey, yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce you the guest for today's episode, Alex Stempelski. Oh my gosh. Stempelski. Okay.
Stempleski, yeah.
Stempleski. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'd like to introduce you to our today's guest, Alex Stempleski, who is one of the most followed TikTok creators in the photography space and is a massive fan base of over 19.2 million followers. He's rose to fame by creating compelling series of photographing random strangers on the streets. Alex has worked with some of the biggest name brands in the industry, and in his experience with working with these relationships, and my gosh, today is just not good, Alex. Sorry about this. This is not normal for me. Okay. Alex has worked with some of the biggest name brands in the industry and in his experience in working with these relationships and helping you develop on working with brand partners. And we are very fortunate enough to be representing Alex at Project Z Talent and in all his brand efforts. He is also well known for curating presets for other photographers to use and has shared tutorials on how to create these unique moments. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Love talking about
Alex,
TikTok.
yes, thank you so much. Usually the conversation now flows so much more because it's not so freaking scripted. I usually tend to put a little script in here to catch the audience. But I'm horrible at scripts and I'm so much better at natural conversation like we're about to have now. So I appreciate you jumping on, taking the day and being here with us. And I wanted to first off kick off like working with brands on TikTok is so important for the advertiser and for the creator to learn a lot more about how they can come and monetize their efforts and working with these brands. But before we dive into all that, because it's so valuable and so important for everybody to learn, I'd love to know more about you and your TikTok journey.
Sure. So my journey actually starts back from before I was a content creator. I lived an average life. I had a 9 to 5 office job. And before that, actually, I studied statistics in college. So I've always been a math person. I have a very analytical brain, and that's kind of how my mind works. But I had this creative side to me too. I've always loved drawing, and I loved art growing up. So when I became an actuary, an insurance actuary, which is like basically a statistician for an insurance company, it was a great job, but I wasn't able to use my creative side of my brain, and I was
Mhm.
feeling really unfulfilled because of that. So in order, so my I decided to pick up a creative outlet to sort of satisfy my like creative, side of my head. So like
Mhm.
as an actuary, I randomly got a camera, and without ever thinking I would do social media for a living, I started posting photos on Instagram. And one of the first things I did, one of my first photos was a photo of a stranger. I've been just doing that since I got my camera. I love street photography, stranger
Mhm.
photography, whatever you want to call it. It
Yeah.
challenges me socially and so many things. So yeah, I got my camera. I started posting on Instagram. I did that for 6 months and grew about 10,000 followers just posting my photos.
Wow.
And it wasn't until Gary Vee uh, started talking about TikTok a lot. He made a lot of videos about it. He explained why it was so powerful. He said everyone needs to join it. Like, you're gonna miss out if you don't listen to me on this. And I really
Yep.
trust. I trusted him at that point. He had given me a lot of good advice through his videos
Hmm.
before. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna get this weird app I've never heard of and see what the heck it's all about. But I was a photographer. I didn't make videos. I didn't know how to make
Exactly.
short videos. I took photos. So one of my first videos was actually a slideshow of photos. That was the best video I could do, was just slideshow of photos.
Exactly.
That was my first TikTok video. I think it's still up on my page. But a month later, I had 1 million followers because that's how TikTok works. I wasn't even any good at making the content, but like with TikTok, man, sometimes a little bit of luck, a little bit of drive and motivation, and
Definitely.
you can achieve some crazy things on TikTok.
That's crazy. And now, now you're at you grew to 1 million, but now you're at nearly 20 million followers, which is insane. How do you feel about that?
Doesn't feel real. Honestly, it's never hit me. I'm always waiting for it to hit me. After I hit 1 million followers, I decided like this isn't real. And since then, I've continued to feel that way. I remember telling my friend Derek, like, dude, because he hit 1 million followers around the same time. I'm like, dude, why are you excited? Like, it's fake. Like, this can't be real. Like, why do 1 million people follow us? We're like random people with like, I'm an actuary. Why do 1 million people follow me? But no, it is real. It's just like, it's so unfathomable. That amount of people is crazy. But
Hmm.
people do come up to me on the street and say, hey, like, Alex, what's up? And like, they recognize me, and like, it's all so crazy.
I bet. So it's like a shock. Still to this day, it's a shock anytime somebody comes up and recognizes you.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I freak out. I get all awkward. Like,
That's hilarious. You know what? That's what I love about TikTok creators, though. So many of them are so humble because they're like, what? Like, I don't like. They almost
yeah,
don't get it because they think I'm just like these people who are coming up to me. I'm not any different from that
right.
person. Why are like why am I so
Yeah,
exciting? But I love the humbleness of the creator culture, versus like a traditional celebrity who maybe have bigger heads, or they have these like different motivations of talking with fans. But I love that. And speaking of Gary Vee, he's one of the reasons as well. Like I was in TikTok while Gary Vee was already talking about it. So
hmm,
I was involved with it. I was talking with different things. I was helping my daughter build her channel, but I saw him, and I was like, yes, like let's go, Gary. Like we need the motivation over here, because people were laughing at us the whole time. Especially brands and business, like brand partners, are like, hell no, like that space is not for us. It's just for kids or teens or whatever.
yeah.
But I want to share a clip of him. This is an interview with him in 2019, specifically talking about brands coming to TikTok. And I wanted to share this clip with everybody right now. So I'm going to share that now.
So many brands being built right now on TikTok that are gonna monetize for next decade, while everybody keeps laughing about the fact that their daughter spends an hour to make a video in the kitchen. People are grossly underestimating what's happening. This is a very important time. This is the last decade you're gonna have to take advantage of the current state of this internet, and I think that people need to get way more serious about it. And you look at the behaviors, the decisions at the top, the allocations of dollars against it, and what it's being asked to do. There's very few corporations in the world that understand what's going on. Social media is the slang term for the current state of the internet. So when we call it social, it's ha ha ha. When you call it the current state of the internet, you have to take a step back and be a little more thoughtful of it.
Like this video right here is just powerful. Funny thing is, Alex, is that was 2019, yet we're still seeing this. Not a huge jump. Like I shouldn't say that, because there's a lot of partners that are looking into this, but they're coming in with the wrong like way about it. They're looking at it as an advertising, like they're advertising on Facebook or Instagram, when TikTok is totally a different beast. So it's still like it's new and still the Wild West to these brands, but there's a lot of brands that are still not understanding how it works, and like crazy thing is like going through that particular video that he posted, and he posted this only a few days ago. There's there's comments in here of saying my brand is an evidence of this because I made $1 million last week thanks to TikTok. Or people are saying, hey, I couldn't pay my rent 2 months ago, and now I have a 6-figure business within like 2 months. And the funny, like, we're seeing a lot of small businesses take off because they're not jaded by these other, like, the way you should be advertising. They are coming to TikTok and making TikToks, not ads, right? So like you see that as well. Have you seen on like your For You page some brands that are doing well, and have you experienced any of that?
So I'm probably not the best person to ask this, only because I don't watch a lot of TikToks. I have some reasons for that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a very addicting app, and I truly love the content, but I find that like I don't want it to interfere with my own ideas and my own like creative process. So like I try not to watch them because I don't want to copy anyone's idea. I feel like if I don't watch it, I'll come up with something original because like there's no one to like copy. But anyway,
Okay.
it's hard for me to answer that. I'm trying to think of the one example I can think of would be a company that was started by a friend of mine, Greg Tube on TikTok.
Mhm.
He came up with a mask that you can slap onto your wrist while you're not wearing it.
No
And in
way.
one video, he generated literally one video, brand new business, just launched, first TikTok video. From that video alone, generated 6 figures of sales.
No way.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Like TikTok is that powerful. The best thing TikTok has going for it is its ability to reach people, to
Mhm.
reach people. Like, so with one video, you can reach 10 million people and get 6 figures in sales. And that's what my friend did with his brand new company. But in terms of like more of the existing brands and companies out there that are kind of like more established, like, the McDonald's, the Walmarts, Targets, and all that. I It's hard for me to think of an example of a brand that's just absolutely like crushing it
Sure.
on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay, well, for one, that story is insane with your friend's brand because like on other platforms it's just not possible. You'd have to take years and years and years to try to grow that fan base
Mhm.
enough for
Yeah.
them to be able
Yep.
to like develop your product and sell it, for them to trust you. It would take so long. But on TikTok, like you could start the app today, like create an account today, post a
Mhm.
video that's like within the TikTok nature, like that's native to the platform, and it could go viral and then change your entire life from one video as a normal person with
Literally.
0 followers. Like, that is so powerful. And I think
Go on, get
creator
it. Yeah.
culture right now is shifting because the world doesn't know what to do with this. Like, and I think that's where Gary Vee was kind of saying, like, nobody's wrapping their head around this because they're not in control anymore. Like, that's the funny thing is the creator is like the head of the world right now. Like, these content
Yeah.
creators are controlling everything from the brand down, where it was the other way around. Advertisers had a lot more control and can like plug in the right people or whatever. But it's not working like that now, and these brands have to like realize that the creators
Yeah.
are the one that knows their audience. They know their space. So like you as a content creator, you know what's working well for you. You know what your audience will like or not like, and
Mhm.
you've developed that, so that's really important. And speaking of like content, how, like, you talked about sharing just a slideshow, and then were you just like testing and trialing new things, and then finally something clicked to be able to show like the behind the scenes of you taking these photos? How did that start?
Yeah, I think what I did right when I started TikTok was I tried different things. The first video I posted was, a simple slideshow. There was no video component to it. It was just photos cycling through. But I don't know if I realized that that video was just not getting a good result, or me thinking that it was just not a good concept. I don't really know why I decided to try something else, but I just remember having this mindset of like, let me try different stuff. Like, let me figure it out. If I'll try a slideshow video, I'll try something else next time.
Yeah.
And I think that was really key for me. I think that for anyone that's willing to um, get started on TikTok, you should really consider having this mindset of like, let me try different things before, you don't want to join TikTok and have this one idea and you're just set on it, because it might not work. And if you keep doing something that doesn't work, it's not just going to suddenly start working. You got to try different things. So that's what I did. And that's where I landed on this idea of taking pictures of strangers and filming the whole thing. And what's really interesting looking back is that the first time I did that, I was filming it with a magnetic camera that just films things point of view. So it's like a camera that I clipped to my shirt, and it would film everything like point of view.
Yeah.
But it didn't look that good. And I realized that pretty much immediately, because I never did it again. And the next time, my friend Derek, was like, can you just film me with your iPhone? So he filmed me with his iPhone, and it got a much better result. It got significantly more views. It looked better. And I just think it's interesting that like very early on, I had this mindset also of like not only testing things, but if you have an idea you like, try to make it better, try and improve on it. Never make the final version your like beta version, your first version. You've got to like do version 1, version 2, version 3. So literally like I was doing that from the start. Like I noticed that the first camera POV style just didn't look good. So I changed it up.
Yeah.
And from my first month of creating content, I was always trying to upgrade it and level it up.
Nice.
And it worked out really well, because my videos, they kept getting more and more views the more that I like improved it.
Exactly. You know what's interesting about that is I tell a lot of people, because we come into, and I think this might play into your mental health awareness of taking a break from the app as well, not comparing yourselves to others, but a lot of people do. They compare themselves. They see on their For You page, man, like I wish I was a photographer. Alex is already doing so good. I can never be there, blah. Yeah. But they don't understand that everyone's on a different path in their journey. And I tell some people who have that mindset, they love a certain creator, and I'm like, go back, scroll all the way down to their beginning, because typically they haven't removed those posts, and you can see where they shifted, where their change was. They were not always this polished or really good at what they do in the beginning. So I do that a lot on content creators. I'll actually scroll, and sometimes it takes a long time, but I'll get back down there and I'm like, whoa, they were not like, they were just like, they looked, it didn't look that great, or they weren't so funny, or maybe it wasn't put together. And you can see the way it evolves. Like as you scroll back up, you see where they made some tweaks and changes. But it is important, like for not only like a brand and as a content creator, is to make like those, like you got to constantly test things out. Like you have to just keep testing and like you said, finding what is something I can improve for the next time. Go through your content and say, what is it that I can tweak here to get better results? And it might even be just taking out that entire series piece that's just not working and try something new. And the fun thing is, it's okay to always keep testing things on TikTok. Like you don't have to be set in your way, which is, it's so much more fun and organic that way, versus like Instagram was very picturesque, where, you had a very like aesthetic page and it had to like look a certain way, where on TikTok, it's like, you can just kind of do it. Like you can still have your aesthetic way about it, but you're allowed to test different things out and try things.
That's the cool part about TikTok. On Instagram, it's the creator has a different sort of how to describe this. So on Instagram, like you said, everyone kind of cares more about their like feed aesthetic. So each post you're a little more careful about, and there's almost like there's a little bit more fear in posting an Instagram photo than there is with posting a TikTok video, in the sense that when TikTok, it just feels like an app where you just put it out there, just post it. If it's not great, it's fine. Like with Instagram, it's like, this has to be perfect because it's going to go on my feed and stay there. It's got to be just right. But on TikTok, there's more freedom. It's like the way that the algorithm is programmed. If you post 20 videos in one day, it's not going to show all 20 videos to your followers. So it's not like Instagram, where if you post 20 photos on your feed, you're going to upset your followers. They're like, why did you post so much today? This is too much on my feed. You're going to like take over their feed, and they'll probably unfollow you. With TikTok, it doesn't work that way, because people spend time on the For You page. So you can blast 50 videos in one day without upsetting your followers.
Yeah.
And that really quickly allows you to test different content in a way that you couldn't really do. You actually can do that on Instagram, because on Reels you can post it and not put it on your feed.
Yep.
The algorithm doesn't work as well if you do that on Reels as it does on TikTok. Your content has a better shot if you were to post it organically on TikTok. But yeah, that's a really great thing about TikTok, is just the freedom of like testing with no downside.
Exactly. Funny thing is, like, I don't use Instagram that much. But apparently I've been posting too many stories, which is weird because I've only been doing like 2 a day. But I got the like notification saying, "Hey, we see you've been posting too much. Like, basically take a break." Which
Wow.
I was like, okay, I rarely use this, but hey. But on TikTok, it's funny, like you said, you could post 50 videos and TikTok's not going to give you any flag saying, "Hey, you're overwhelming your followers," because like you said, it's not always geared to your followers at all. It's going to put it into different categories of different people on the For You page and see, and the algorithm will slowly test different audiences out, which is really cool. There's a lot of really unique things with the algorithm that I think is why they're winning in so many ways, and that it can stay authentic and organic no matter how big it grows, is because it's constantly testing different areas where people can grow and develop no matter how saturated the app is, which is super cool. And I wanted to share a clip of one of your videos to give the audience a better idea of what your videos have developed into. So I'm going to share that now, and it's one of your top viral ones, which we'll talk about.
Astro, no. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought. No flow rain wasn't pouring down. See, that pain was all around. See, my mode was.
Awesome. Yeah, so like, for one, that video you could tell was taken down on Hollywood Boulevard, where you find some of the most interesting people down there. So I'm sure that's one of your common grounds to go to find some interesting strangers in the area. But what's interesting about that video, for anybody looking in, you might just think, oh, that's a cool video. That's fun to see. I see a lot of videos similar or whatever, but that video has, gained about, 90 million views.
Yeah.
Which is insane. So I wanted to know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Were you really shocked when you saw that?
So I don't know. I don't really remember, actually, because all right. So first of all, like the 90 million views, it took about like 3 or 4 months for that many views to happen. So like the first day, within the first 24 hours, maybe I had like 4 or 5 million views. So that's still a lot of people, but
right.
When someone sees that, they might think that the 90 million views just happened like overnight, and that would be crazy. It was more of like, it kind of it trickled, but it trickled quickly. Like it was a lot of views, a lot of comments, and like people were really hyped, and that's always like really, really exciting. So I was really excited. I was really excited when that video took off.
Yeah, and like, I'm glad that you brought that up, because some brands and stuff have this concept in their mind that once you post it, you have like a few hours and it's gone. Whereas like on other socials, it's kind of like that. Like then your feed gets overwhelmed by something else and it's not going to get pushed back out. But what's so like, why I think, again, why TikTok has been so smart with their algorithm is, and TikTok even released a statement saying, to reach the max performance of a video may take up to 90 days. And the reason why like they do that is the algorithm's constantly testing new audiences, and that can be over, a 90-day period. So like this first month it tested over here, then the next month it's going to push it over here. And then all of a sudden, like in 60 days, it might take off because it finally tested another set of audiences that are just like absolutely eating it up.
Mhm.
You know, my daughter actually posted a video like it was about 2 months ago. It had like 100,000 views or whatnot, but yesterday she was getting all these notifications and it was like coming in like crazy, like what the hell, like what's happened? And it
Mhm.
was because that video got kicked out again, and now it's over, like it's almost 2 million views, and the comments are coming in and like people are stitching it now, and she's like, what
Yeah.
like, okay, like that's crazy. So
Mhm.
what's fun as an advertiser as well is that your content lives way longer than you think. Like it's not just one and done. You have like, you know, a small window to get as much reach as possible. It organically will grow over time. And
Mhm.
then, you know, after 90 days, you can even, as an advertiser, you can do a Spark ad on it and boost it even further to
Yeah.
reach more people. But there's so much opportunity there, which is insane.
Yeah, I like I like that you gave the example of a video sort of being stagnant for a couple months, maybe completely flopped, and
Yeah.
then weeks later, months later, it suddenly goes viral out of nowhere, and that's a really cool thing about TikTok. And what's interesting to me is like why that happens, like how the algorithm sort of finds this like hidden gem from the past that didn't quite make it, and it gives it a second chance, and it goes viral the second time. And
Yeah.
there's so many factors that can play into it. Maybe it finds a new audience that it hadn't tested before, and that audience loves it. It finds the content its home, or maybe it's that the topic is just somehow more relevant now. Like you may have posted a video of Logan Paul sort of training like 3 months ago, and then by the time the Mayweather fight came up, you know, Logan Paul boxing is now trending. So if that video hits the For You page to like a
Yes.
couple of people, it's going to have really high engagement. And now that old video is, you got lucky because it became more relevant and
Yeah.
going viral. Maybe a comment. It could start by like a comment. I think I've noticed that like if one
Yep.
person puts an intriguing comment that starts a hot topic or a debate, even though the video is posted a month ago, and
Yeah.
people see that comment because it's a recent one, so it stays up at the top, and they go in, and a war starts in the comment section. That can blow up your video out of nowhere. That's happened to me. So it's really cool how like your videos are never really dead on TikTok unless it's
No.
made after that 90-day mark. But like you said, you could promote a video with a Spark ad after 90 days if you want.
Yeah.
But like
Exactly.
they have I call it shelf life. Like the shelf life of a TikTok video is significantly higher than the shelf life of a Instagram photo, for example.
Yep.
Because after a day or two on Instagram, your photo is not going to get any more likes or reach.
Yep.
But on TikTok, months later, you can still be racking up a lot of views. So like the shelf life of your content is really high on TikTok.
Exactly. And like, I love that you mentioned comments, because I feel like comments are, you know, like undervalued sometimes, where the comment section really can help, like you said, trigger a video again, but also drive tons of engagement, even
Mhm.
if it's not your video. Like, for instance, why I'm bringing that up is there's a lot of brands that are doing so good in the comment section right
Yeah,
now.
I've
Like they're
noticed
just having a fun time communicating with people, putting in hilarious
that.
insights, like that are like very native to the platform, like very
Yeah.
culture inside
Mhm.
jokes, and people are
Right.
finding that hilarious. Like they're loving it. Like McDonald's is doing a great job. Detroit Lions is doing so, like they're doing insane.
Mhm.
Um Netflix right now is just like talking, like anybody who's mentioning Squid Game within there,
Yeah.
they're like in the comment section like crazy and hyping it up and simping over
Mhm.
some of the characters in the show. And it's just
Yeah.
like it's such a fun way. So, you know, a tip for brands that are listening, even a content creator, is a
Mhm.
good way is just to go in the comments and start developing some sort of communications in there. But as a brand, if it's something relatable to your business, you can
Mhm.
go in there and put a little comment and be seen. Because trust me,
Right.
my first thing I do when I watch a video, I jump to the comments every time if it's a compelling video, because I want to
Yeah.
see, do people have the same
Yeah.
mindset as me, or do they have the same,
Yeah.
like, yeah. And so being in the comment section is really an important step for brands. And there's a lot of brands that are on there, but I don't see them in the comments, or they're not
Right.
using that. And
Mhm.
that's really a key element, I think, of TikTok.
Yeah, that's such a good hack. And I would just add to that that small brands this is an ultimate hack for small brands. Like, of course, Netflix and McDonald's can drop a funny comment, and you know that can do really well for them. But even as a small brand, you can use this comment section hack to get like a lot of exposure on TikTok. And I'll give you an example. Like my girlfriend told me about this. All happened organically. Like I discovered a coffee company the other day through a comment that they left on a viral video, and it was a really fun comment. I still remember what the comment was. Unfortunately for the brand, I don't remember what brand it was, because it was on my girlfriend's phone. Had I seen it on my phone, I probably would have remembered the name, but she only told me what the comment was, and the fact that it was from a coffee company. And just to give an example to, like, if a brand is listening to how this, like a real life example of this, there's been a recent viral video about a girlfriend visiting her boyfriend on a college campus. And when she gets there, the boyfriend's sitting on a couch and surrounded by like other girls. The girlfriend that's visiting her boyfriend is extremely excited, but the boyfriend is like very much not on the same page. He's not very excited. Something's really like he grabs the cell phone away from one of the other girls very suspiciously.
It's very awkward.
Yeah, and then there's this huge viral video going around, and everyone's like sort of riffing off it, stitching it, making their own like sort of like parody versions of it.
They call him the couch guy, don't they?
Yeah, the couch guy. And so there was one of the parody videos went viral, and we looked at the comment sections as like 90%. I don't know, like everyone goes to the comment section. And then the top comment was by a coffee company, and it was really funny. It said something like, I know we're a coffee company, but we're staying here for the tea. Like, you know, trying to get the tea, using that phrase, and like a really, really clever phrase. That was smart. It was so perfect. And the visibility on that is not something that should be underestimated. I mean, let's say 10 million people saw that video. I'm gonna guess like 5 to 8 million of those people went to the comment section, and everyone sees the top comment. So you just got 5 to 8 million impressions from leaving a comment.
Exactly.
I would suggest a small company or even a large company to, and I'm sure that some of them do this, hire a person to leave clever comments on TikToks. Try to get top comments. Like that should be an actual like role.
Exactly. And the comment should be like you said, clever and very native to the platform. So like somebody who understands TikTok and sees these trends and figure out like exactly, for one, it showed that the brand is real, that they pay attention to this culture, and that they know how to like play into it. And I think that's what's important. That's why I see like these other big ones, you know, and it's great, like small businesses, but these big ones have now probably added a new person on their marketing team that knows TikTok and knows the native culture there and can speak to it. And people are hyping it up. Like Netflix recently posted a video with, you know, their Squid Game and them simping, and people were like freaking out in the comments, like, I didn't even realize this was you, Netflix. Like, hey, like you're like one of us. Like, and that's what's so important, is for brands to look like they're a actual creator. Like, if that makes sense, like they're real, just like the rest of the people on the app. And if they can harbor into that, that is where they're going to shift and stay relevant and really develop that strong loyalty that brands are like dreaming of. And this kind of rolls into a perfect segue into Gary Vee. This is another Gary Vee video of him talking with Michelle Romanow, who, you know, is awesome. And they're talking to a brand right here on the importance of TikTok and his advice on how brands can work with creators. And I think it's really important, to like 2 minutes. And then we'll dive into that. So I'm going to play that now for us right now.
One of the keys to TikTok, though, is that people relate to them and the authenticity of it. So I think the posts that go viral are the ones that are so authentic and so genuine. And
I would say
as a brand,
I would say that there's unlimited posts, because of this is my life, going viral and succeeding, that are contextual to the platform, not necessarily authentic.
Interesting. Okay.
Got it? Don't mix up contextually strategic versus authentic. Because when you think it's authentic, you two go into a place over dinner saying, fuck, you know, if we pay them, it's not going to be authentic, and then it's not going to work. Where in reality, what's happening is, the reason a lot of people are not winning on TikTok is they don't know how to make content for TikTok. But if you make content for TikTok that is actually an ad or paid before through an influencer, it always works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's about being contextual.
It's about being contextually native to the platform.
Yeah.
Not trying to put your flow bottle on your dance that is popping something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me give you an example. You can pick the influencer and then tell her, do whatever the fuck you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They built an audience because they know, like, this is where brands always fuck up. They're like, hey, we love you. Let's make Michelle the influencer. Michelle, we love you and you're amazing. Okay, now you've got to at least mention our brand 3 times. You've got, like, they get heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You control who you're going to give money to and then get out of the fucking way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then do that 100 times, see what you like, and then build from there.
Mm.
It's so true, because actually the best posts are always when I'm like, I love my Aura ring. It's my favorite thing. I talk about it all the time. I like post my sleep. They've never paid or asked me to do that. But the moment, because I've gotten all these brand briefs and it's like, Ken Michelle, they actually sometimes write the script for you. They say like what you need to mention as like the benefits and features. It's like, no one gives a shit about that. People actually want to know that I use the product. And so it's like, I love that. And I've seen that so many times.
But I'm just adding this because it's important.
Yeah.
We have unlimited things working. That is a paid influencer thing.
Yeah.
We just don't tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we always win that with our clients. Like, I do it and I'm great and it's easy for me. But for my clients, a lot of times I can't get, even though they hire us, even with me involved, sometimes they can't get there. And the reality is it bites them in the ass and then they adjust. You pick who you want to endorse and then get completely out of the way, which is fallacy in brand land historically.
Yeah.
It's not what they teach you in school.
Boom.
The legend.
Yeah, but it's like Gary Vee, like the thing is like people can love him or hate him, but it's really like what he's saying right there is so real into like he said, it's fallacy. Like brands have in their mind that they want to work with the creator. They have their vision because, you know, they create content for themselves that's very structured. And they're trying to imply that on the creator they're working with. Like they're almost like treating the creator as an employee, as like a marketing employee. Like, you have to say this, and just like, no, I don't work for you. Like, you're paying me to endorse your product. Like, you're paying me that the relationship I built with my audience that trusts me. You should be paying me for just speaking, like using your product. I don't even have to say shit because they trust what I'm doing. So now they're gonna be like, oh, Alex is using this particular product, must be amazing. I'm going out and getting it, period. Versus like, and it's true. We see that a lot. In fact, like, and I'm not name dropping anything, but me and you worked on a campaign recently that they did provide a script, and me and you both looked at it and we're like, okay, like if this is what you want, it's going to underperform. We already know off the bat. Yeah. And it's very frustrating, but yet they push back and like, no, this is what we want. And we know the results. So when, like how Gary Vee was saying, it's going to bite them in the ass. They're paying for it. Sure. We'll give you what you want, but it's not going to, there's going to be zero return on that.
Yeah. It's a real shame. I agree with Gary's approach. Like, you have to, I think there should be a balance. Like, I think the brand can give some guidance and some suggestions, but at the end of the day, the creator should decide like how to make the creative, not the brand. Otherwise, the brands are really going to, what brands don't realize, what they don't realize is how TikTok works, because they don't make TikToks. So the fact that they're telling a creator how to make a TikTok it's ridiculous. And I want to understand why that is. I think it might be because they don't understand how the algorithm works to the point where they see that Alex has 19 million followers. And all of Alex's videos get 10 million views. So we're just going to tell Alex what to put in the video, do this, this, and this, and we're going to get those 10 million views because he's got 19 million followers.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. My videos get 10 million views because I'm thoughtful about what goes in it. And I don't put a bunch of like crap in it. That's not going to work. And I think that might be where the hang up is.
Totally.
So maybe like communicating to the brand, like, look, we can do this, but I guarantee you that this video will significantly underperform my content. Here's what I think we should do instead if you would like to see views that are going to be a lot better. Because Because
Yeah.
whenever I've blindly followed a brand, and sometimes they're so stubborn that I just give in and I just do what they say, and it's happened twice. Those are to date my lowest performing videos on all of my page, and they essentially wasted their money with me, but they wouldn't
Yeah.
let me like advise them otherwise. But literally, the two worst performing videos on my entire page are from brands telling me what to put in my TikTok.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we see that across the board. Like, you can. Funny thing is, this is crazy, but it's probably true. You could go to some of the top TikTok creators, scroll through, find a low performing video, and I guarantee you it's sponsored. And if you watch it, you can see that it just doesn't fit that creator at all. And I've seen it loads. Like, I recently worked with another creator, and it underperformed horribly. Like, it looked like it was just not even close. Like maybe 1% of the views that they typically get, and it just looks. And for one, the reason why it's not helpful is it doesn't just damage, the brand's dollar value that they're spending, but also the creator as well, because it just like it lessens their performance overall, or their engagement rate, and everything like that, and it can damage their branding as well. So creators are now, I think, becoming more, and this episode I wanted to gear it to also creators listening in, that you can control that. Like, you don't have to take everything you get. If somebody's going to be very specific, you can say, look, like, this is going to cause more damage or underperforming. I'm going to pass on this or whatnot. And I think, like, as like talent managers like us, it is our role to help educate these brands and saying, look, and those that are going to be really stubborn, they're going to, like Gary Vee said, it's going to bite them in the ass, and they're going to learn the hard way. And it's like a waste of money, where like, and I almost want to tell these brands, like, be a little bit more upfront. And like, I wish I could speak it like that sometimes, but I want to tell them, look, why don't you go become a creator, create your own content, and then come back and let's have a conversation, because you'll learn and come back. But there's a lot of brands now that I've worked with that are really good. They've like they've got bitten asked so many times, and now they've come back and they're like, okay, here's the list of things not to do, and the only list that they have is like, don't wear our competitors' colors or something, and don't wear like other brands, which is fine, right? Like, I think that's totally fine. And then they just give you like a little bit of direction, like, we do want you to mention this, but in your own way. Like, the focus should be on this particular area, but please do it in your own light. And a great example of that is very would be EOS. Like, there's a brand that's like a soap. They make soaps, they make chapstick. It's like little ball chapstick ones. There was a creator, and it wasn't branded or anything, but she talked about shaving your fucking cooch, and she said it just like that too. Like, the smoothest fucking cooch. Like, and she was like going crazy. The video went insane. Well, they rebranded. They made a whole product and rebranded their product that says, like, this, like, the soap, when you open the lid to the product or the shaving cream, it says like, for the smoothest fucking cooch in it. And I'm just like, are you kidding? Like, I think that is so cool, and it resonated really. Like, some people might disagree. They might be like, that's crazy, that like, as a brand, as a professional. Well, we're in a different culture now. Like, that is where our culture is, and it resonated really, really well with the TikTok culture, and people were really like, they almost had a new level of respect for that brand for listening and driving that. So yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty fun. Have you worked with some brands that are really good about like letting you be the voice?
Yeah, I would say give a shout out to Samsung. They're a great partner. They allow me to control the creative, and they have a lot of trust in me. And that's allowed me to make really good content for them. But yeah, I want to get back to just one thing Gary said that I like, which was brands should kind of like, let the creator decide what to do, give them the money, and be hands off.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of brands might be like, well, if we do that, some of them are not going to do it right. And they're correct in thinking that. But some of them are going to be the next, are going to create the next like viral chapstick video that you can then use as a new like marketing play.
Yes.
So like I really like that approach. And I think if a brand was willing to just kind of like have trust in creators doing what they do best and just say, look, I'm going to hire 10, 15, 20, however many creators,
Mm-hmm.
give them money, let them create the content however they want. You don't have to work with all of those creators again. If 5 of them absolutely crush it, make those 5 your long-term creator partners.
Yep.
And the other ones, they got their money, they did their ad, and they're happy too. You don't have to work with them anymore. So I just think the whole approach of like brands coming at TikTok with this very specific idea for each creator, or even worse, having the same idea across all the creators, because each creator is different. Like none of them should be making have the same script, have the same concept.
Yep, exactly.
With this like predefined, pre-laid out idea, you're not going to allow the creator to do what they do best. They're not going to find that gold for you that's really going to actually help the brand.
I could not agree more. They're coming in as like experts in they're coming in like they're thinking they're experts in a totally different place. It's like me and you, we're going to build a house. Me and you have never freaking built a house in our life yet. We're going to tell all the contractors how to do it. Like, you got to do it like this. Why are you like, you can't use that product? And they're like, what are you talking about? That's the product I'm most comfortable with. Like, no, you have to use this. And they're like, I don't know how to use it. Like, and they expect to get the same results of them building it with the tools they know. And I think like that's, really important as well. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I love that approach. That's exactly how brands should be doing it. Just like you said, just here is 20 creators, go for it. And like you said, maybe one of those become the next thing for that brand that everyone's talking about, becomes a huge meme. It gets talked about all across the thing. Everyone wants to use that product. That's part of it. It becomes like a part of the culture of TikTok. And that's what you're looking for. And that would not come from their direction. It would only come from the creator's direction. 100%.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Alex. And, I don't want to take up a lot more of your time. So I just wanted to say, you're doing a lot of really cool things. And I know that there's so much more like value. There's so many more things that we could look out for. And you have a couple, things in place that's going to be really fun. I don't know if we wanted to, and I could take this out too, but do we want to name drop or talk about Koji at all, just to kind of put it out there? Yeah. So you're doing a really fun thing like with Koji, and people who don't know Koji, it's like the link in bio, like a link tree or a Beacons. They have a link in bio, but what's so powerful about them is they've actually created apps within that link in bio. So when you click one of those things, it opens up a window within the link in bio. So you're not having to navigate everywhere else. There's going to be a Lightroom preset app that Alex is actually known and distributed on there as one of the developers for that. And Alex, that's huge. Are you really pumped about that?
I am. Yeah, this is it's exciting for me personally to help develop and launch an app like this. And the app itself is really, really exciting because if you're a photographer and that's either your profession, or you want to make that your profession, or you just want some side cash, one of the best ways to make money as a photographer is to sell your Lightroom presets. But the problem is a lot of my photographer friends, they haven't been able to do that because you got to build a website. You got to do this and that. It's like there's a lot of steps to it. But this new app within Koji has made it so easy. And I'm really excited to share it with the photography community so that they can really quickly get their Lightroom presets out there and sell them just like that. So it's super exciting. Like, I don't know why this hasn't been thought of yet, but
right.
Leave it to Koji to just come up with it and get it out there. So yeah, I'll probably host like an Instagram live stream explaining like how to set that up. Within minutes, a matter of minutes, you can be selling your Lightroom presets right now, and you've got an extra source of income as a photographer. And even if you're selling them on your site, put them on your Koji within your Instagram profile. It's a lot easier to buy than to go to like a website and do the whole checkout thing there.
Exactly. And like it takes away cost. Like you don't have to now pay for your website with the whole e-commerce aspect of it, which can be kind of expensive, and it makes it very easy and convenient for you. It's so simple. Plus, people are really lazy nowadays, even with online. They don't like to leave anywhere. So having it a link in bio where it's like they're just on their phone, click it, then click the Lightroom preset app. Boom, it's right there. It's so easy. To be able to use and manage, and people can find it so fast versus like, hey, come find me on my website, and then you have to like make sure your website looks good and is easy to navigate, or you just lose people because people just leave it if it's not easy to use. So it's so important and so cool, and I love that. Like for photographers listening in, definitely check that out, and you can get that on your own Koji and be able to put your own presets in there and be able to sell them to people who really trust where you've taken your photography to. So it's really cool. There's a lot of awesome apps within Koji as well. That is for anybody, any creator out there. There's something for you in there that you could use as well. So I'm definitely a huge fan of them and what they're doing. So thank you. And Alex, for everyone listening in, where can they find you? What's the best places to follow you, and tell us all your social channels.
Yeah, so I'll start with TikTok since we've been talking a lot about it. I'm alex.stemp, STEMP, on TikTok. And on Instagram, Alexander the Great. Those are my two main platforms. So all my content's going to be on both of those. So yeah, alex.stemp on TikTok, Alexander the Great on Instagram. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Alex Stempleski. If you just type in Alex Stemp, you'll probably find my Twitter.
Awesome. And yeah, if you guys are interested in any NFTs, anything like that, definitely go follow Alex on the Twitter space, because that's where he's talking a lot about that over there, which is really fun. But Alex, I really appreciate you, and anybody, all the audience that's listening in right now. I made it very easy for you to be able to go follow Alex, because you can just hit the description notes of this channel and be able to go click the links that are straight in there and go directly to him and follow him and see what he's up to. And definitely check out his presets that will be coming out on his Koji app that are really cool. And you'll be able to see how you can download that for your own Koji InLink app. So thank you, Alex. I appreciate your time today, man. And I also want to say thank you for everybody that's been listening in today on this episode. And I appreciate every single one of you. Alex, have a great day, man. And thanks again.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks, Kyle.
I wanted to just add in, and I'll edit this in. If you're a brand or business that are listening in and you want to work with Alex on some content after you checked out his page, definitely reach out to me at kyle.kaplanis@Project Z Talent. I have that in the description notes as well. And we will see how we can work together, because Alex will do a phenomenal job for your brand. And thank you again for the time. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.